Alright guys, if you happen to see my last video on homemade canister shells, here is the follow-up as promised, a full rack of tiger tail. And some experimental as a bonus, an almost full rack of tiger tail with aluminum powder, which is interesting. It gives the stars more of a brilliant gold effect as instead of the straight orange you get out of tiger tail. They're still nice long lasting, and they have the added benefit of spitting real fine white sparks out as they fall, which was pretty cool. Kind of close to the firefly effect, where you add aluminum flake and you get the real slow drifting white glitter. Kind of like that. It doesn't show up too good in the camera doesn't do it justice, but you can still see the difference between the straight tiger tail and the added aluminum powder. Now they're a bit mixed up. We have some mine shells, some canister shells, and some canister shells with comets. I think most of the firefly shells have comets. A couple of the tiger tails do. I did this simply by taking an extra star and gluing it to the top of the shell. For the most part, it worked out fine, with a couple of the shells throwing the comet off as they rose into the air. But hey, this is all homemade, so what can you do? I'm going to fire it with a homemade firing system, which is good to about 100 feet. And using these two fan-style racks. The fan-style racks I got off of overstockfireworks.com. And they're fine. I don't have any problems with them. Unfortunately, the spacing in between the tubes is pretty much non-existent, meaning that a lot of my shells lit the ones next to it, so I didn't get the full benefit of using a wireless system. But it all worked out. Everything fired off, and I was happy. We had a grand opening, some steady shells in the middle, and then a grand finale, kind of. Yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this. All homemade, everything. The lift jars, the composition, the shells, the quick match, everything except the racks.
Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess we had a wiring malfunction. That was a little bit more. Oh, perfect. Ooh, those are the firefly stars. Ooh, those are nice.
That's cool, man. You build those?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was quite brilliant to see in person, and I can't wait to do it again. Now for a little bit of bonus commentary, just in case you're interested in this kind of thing. I learned quite a bit from firing these off in a finale rack style, more than I would have if I just fired a couple off one at a time. For instance, I need to fortify my quick match with extra layers so it doesn't burst through and light the ones next to it, as mentioned earlier. So we'll work on that. However, I was quite happy with the consistency, at least as far as timing goes. From the point I would push a button to the point multiple shells would light and then multiple shells would burst about the same time, I was really happy with that. For instance, in this clip, you'll notice that these shells go off at exactly the same time and they burst at, well, pretty much exactly the same time. I was able to do this simply by taking the Talon igniter clips and putting it at the very base of the quick match as soon as the black match comes out of the tape, and that made it so that they pretty much all went at the same time. I also made sure that all my quick match was trimmed to the exact same length. I can't remember exactly what I used, but in this instance, everything was 2 feet. And the spoolette was nice. This was a lot of trial and error to find the right timing, whereas my previous shells, it was too long. They were already on their way back down to the ground before they burst. That was using 3/4 of an inch of black powder. I was able to get the sweet spot here with all these shells by using exactly 1/2 inch on the spoolette. So I used 4F black powder compressed to 1/2 inch inside of a 1/4 inch diameter spoolette. I know that's kind of hard to visualize, but basically 1/2 inch of black powder compressed was giving me the sweet spot for timing, allowing the shells to burst while they still have upward momentum. This did 2 things. Obviously, it just makes them look better because there's not that long drag time before they explode, and it carries some of the upward momentum into the stars, causing a lot of the stars to continue to rise. I guess that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to doing it again. See you in the next video.